lecture, we are going to talk about kidney nephrone and the structures associated to it. So the first part is the afferent arteriole and the efferent arteriole. So the afferent arteriole and the efferent arteriole, they form the capillary beds which forms the glomerulus. So the glomerulus, it's the fine capillary beds. The second one is the glomerulus. The glomerulus, that's where blood filtration takes place. Now let us talk about the pressure that affect the glomerular filtration rate. The first pressure is glomerular hydrostatic pressure, which is exerted by the fluids that pushes the glomerulus. The pressure is about 55 milliliter mercury. The next pressure is choroid oncotic pressure. This is the pressure that exerted by the plasma proteins such as the albumin. The albumins tries to pull the fluids from the glomerula. The choroid pressure is about 30 millimeter mercury. The last one is capsular hydrostatic pressure, which is exerted by the bomb and capsule, and this pressure is approximately 15 millimeter mercury. So these are the three pressure that exert against the glomerulus. So from this we can find the net filtration rate, which can be calculated by pressure that pushes the glomerula minus the pressure that pulls the glomerula. In this case, we have 55 milliliter mercury for hydrostatic glomerular pressure that pushes the glomerulus, and 30 and 15 millimeter mercury that pulls the glomerulus. So when these are added, it gives to 45. So 55 minus 45, which gives 10 millimeter mercury as the net filtration pressure. The next one is proximal convoluted tubule. This is where most of the substances are being reabsorbed, such as sodium, potassium, bicarbonate, glucose, amino acid, and also chloride. Glucose and amino acid are reabsorbed 100%, but sodium and chloride only 65% are being reabsorbed. But the question is, how are they reabsorbed? This is what you are going to consider in the next video. Make sure you watch it. The next one, it is the loop of henle, which is divided into 3 segments. We have the descending limb, thin ascending limb, and the thick ascending limb of the loop of henle. In the descending limb, only 25% of sodium is being reabsorbed. About 99% of water is reabsorbed. But now the question, how is it done? This is what you are going to consider in video 3 of this series of renal physiology. The next one is thin descending limb, which reabsorbs sodium and chloride, but water is impermeable. The last segment is thick ascending limb. The thick ascending limb, it reabsorbs sodium, potassium, magnesium, calcium, and also chloride. But the question is, how are these reabsorbed? Remember, we are going to consider this in detail in video 3 of this series. Water is also impermeable in thick ascending limb. The next is distal convoluted tubule, which has the early and the late distal convoluted tubule. The early distal convoluted, it is responsible for reabsorbing calcium, potassium, and chloride, but it is impermeable to water. The late distal, It is responsible for sodium reabsorption and potassium excretion. It is permeable to water. It can also reabsorb water. The last is the collecting duct, which is responsible for water reabsorption and also to maintain acid-base balance. Let us now draw the structure of the kidney nephrone. We put all the structures we've talked about in place. So this is the structure. We have the afferent arteriole, then we have the efferent arteriole, then we have the Bowman's capsule, we have the proximal convoluted tubule, we have the distal, which is descending limb of the loop of henle. We also have the thin ascending limb of the loop of henle. Then next segment is the thick ascending limb of the loop of henle, and the distal, which is divided into two, the early distal convoluted tube and the late distal convoluted tube. And the final tube of the nephrone is convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule and the collecting ducts are responsible for acid-base balancing, which we are going to talk about in the next video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe, comment, share, and also like the video. Thank you so much.